Hello, today we're going to be looking at the ROBLOX website. We're going to be looking at how a for loop can be used to display these images here. I've created a quick mock-up. As you can see, buttons don't work. And we're going to look at this in particular, how these images are displayed on the screen using a for loop. Right, so today we're going to be looking at how we can use a for loop to help us to display images on our ROBLOX mockup. So let's get started. First thing we're going to have to do, we're going to have to create a file. So let's do that. Let's make sure it's file new. And we are going to save that as, let's save that as for loop.py. So there we are. So what we're going to do, we're going to get the computer to count to 10. So to do that, all we have to do is for I, which is the variable part, in range 10. 20, 10. And then we just print out I. Print I. So let's do that. What do you think it's going to do? Let's do start, run the program, Python, and the program name is for loop.py. You run that, and there you go. And in fact, we can make it print out horizontally. So if we want to do that, we do end equals, run that, and we see it started from 0. And you might be asking yourself, if you're a newbie, you'll be asking yourself, why is it counted? Why is it started from 0? So with computers, they count from 0. So there are 10 digits there, but obviously it's starting from 0, so it's going to end at 9. So if we want it to print from 1 to 10, we're going to have to change this variable here. So we're going to have to change it to I plus 1. And if we run that, there we go. It's printed from 1 to 10. So there are some other things we can do. So we can even change this name here. We can change that to number, because it is just a variable part, and we change that bit there, number. And let's get rid of this plus 1. So in here, where it says range, we can give it a starting number. So we can say start from 1, comma, and then that will be the ending number. So enter 11, and we start. Let's run program, and there we go. It's printing from 1 to 10 again. And also we can do this. We can step. We can say how much we want it to go up by. So if we go print to 20, and we say save the program there, let's run that. And there we go. We see it's going up 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. If we did 3, that will go up in 3s. So let's do that. Save that. And as you see, 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, and so on. So that's basically it. Straightforward as that. That is the for loop. So what we're going to look at next, we're going to look at lists. Now in Python, a list is just a container that stores an ordered collection of elements. And the great thing about lists is that we can store multiple data types, and we can store as much data that we want to. And items can be removed from the list as well. So how we create a list, let's put that here, list. And how we create one is just by, let's call this my underscore list equals and brackets. And that's it. That's how you create a list. Now, if we wanted to initialize the list with some values, we can just do this. Say 1 with a comma, next one 3 with a comma, next one 24, say. Now we've got 3 values in our list. So we're going to print that out. So let's comment out this, and let's print out our list. So if we say print my list, and let's save that, and then run the program, there we go. So that's the values that we've got in our list. And how the list works, each one of these items have a position. So each one of these values has a position. So this is position 0, that one there. Position 3 is position 1, that's position 2, and so on and so on. So we can even check that. We can say, what is the position of 24? We can do that, and we say index and 24, and it will say 2. Let's save that, run the program. There we go. It's position 2. Right. Another thing that we can do, we can insert. So let's insert a value in this first position, which is position 0. So if we change this to insert, and let's insert at position 0 for number 44, let's say 44. Whoops. So let's do this first, and there, and then print out my list and save that and run the program. There we go. 44 is now in position 0. So another thing we can do, we can add to the end of the list. So if we say append, call that 74. Whoops, let's get rid of that 0. Append 74. Now run that. There we go. 74 has been added to the list. And we can remove as well. So if we want to remove something from the end of the list, we can remove that 74. We can just do pop. So if we do pop, whoops, poop, pop, and that will remove, well, that's going to remove a 24 from the list. So let's do that and that. There we go. All we've got now is 1 and 3. So you see, we can do so many different things with lists. So what we can also do, we can just remove that and we can change these values. So we can even add a string. So let's add a string and we'll say hello world. And if we print that out, save this, run the program. There you go. We've got hello world there. Yeah. So another thing that we can do, we can use a for loop to print out the values in the list. So if we do for item in my list, and let's do print item, save that, and we run the program. There we go. So that's it for lists, and now we're going to move on to dictionaries. Whoops. So a dictionary is another collection and it's created with keys and values. So if we do my dict equal, and then we do that with curly braces, now we're going to put in our key. So if we say our key is number 1, and then we put our value like this, the value is going to be 20. That's how you create a dictionary. So we can add multiple values here as well. So if we do key equals number 2 and value equals 28, say. Now let's print that out. Print my dict and save that, and let's run our program. Oh, I forgot to put the colon. Whoops. And in fact, let's get rid of this as well. Let's comment that out. And let's start that again. There we go. And you can see the values there. Now, if we need to access one of these keys and the value, the easy way to do it is just by accessing it by its name. So we can do my dict, and then you add the key name to get the value. So if we put number 1, that's going to return the value 20. So let's do that. Yep, see? And there's another way that you can access it as well. If you don't want to do it that way, you can use get. Get number 1. If we save that, run that, see, 20. The great thing about using get, if the key is not found in the dictionary here, it returns none or a default value. So if I say 12, let's run that, it says none. But if I use the other way, well, let's do the other way. If I did it the other way and did number 1, 2, that's going to cause an error. See, key error, because it cannot find number 12. Okay, so that is dictionaries. So we're going to put all of these things together now, and we're going to take a look and see how these 3 things that I have just shown you can help us to display our images on the Roblox mockup.